Hello everybody, Infinite Shinjo here, and I hate to start a video off like this, but I have a confession to make. I didn't want to bring this up, but I have to come clean. The last video I did covering seasonal anime, I haven't watched much of it. It is the middle of the summer 2021 season, and all I'm doing is watching mindless TQ. But I am here, and I have a plan B for this. And realistically, I should have thought of this before. I can't go up anymore. I am on my own My Anime List account. I've done it before, but there's a little bit of a twist. I can add any anime that I want to here to watch for later. So that way, when it actually comes out, I will actually try to remember to watch it. It's not a perfect solution, but it is a solution. Let me get that out of the way before YouTube decides to demonetize me. But yeah, I know now seeing this, I know two things that are coming out in the fall 2021 season, and I don't know much else. So let's get started. I'm probably gonna talk about each one in my own time, but I'm probably not gonna include everything. So Mushoku Tensei and Date A Live, new seasons, second half of the season 2. Why do they do that? That's just confusing. And fourth season of Date A Live. Discussed it for Let's Talk Anime. Not going to continue it. Now, Komi-san. I know a lot of people are really vibing with the manga. So, I'm assuming it's good. And from what I heard, the person that is voicing Komi herself is the same person that voices Kaguya in Kaguya-sama Love is War. So, might be good. Although, considering that Komi is terrible at communicating with others, like it says right here, I'm not so sure if that's a compliment. Aoi Koga is in the role, but hey, we're here. So let's go over here to Platinum End. After the death of his parents, a young Mirai Kakihashi is left in the care of his abusive relatives. Excuse me? Since then, he's become gloomy and depressed, leading to an attempt thing in the evening of the middle school graduation. Mirai, however, is saved by a pure white girl named Nasi, who introduces himself as the guardian angel wishing to give him happiness by granting him supernatural powers and a chance to become the new... What? He must defeat 12 other god canons within 999 days? What? Okay. And it's already confirmed to be 24 episodes? Interesting. I'm gonna leave that one out for now. I'm not so sure about that one. It sounds interesting. Blue Period. Okay. Second year high school student Yatora is bored with his normal life. He studies well and plays around with his friends, but in truth he does not enjoy activities bound by norms. He secretly envies those who do things differently. Enjoy the joy of drawing. When he sees a painting made by a member of the art club, he becomes fascinated with the colors used. In an art exercise, he tries to convey his language without words, but instead through painting. After that experience, he finds himself invested in art that he decides is what he wants to do for a living. But there are multiple obstacles in his way. His parents who are hesitant over his unique choices, his more experienced peers, and the study of a subject much deeper than he initially expected. That's not where I expected that to go. I really like the sound of that. In case you haven't noticed, I don't think I ever bring it up, but back when I was in high school, even now to an extent, I enjoy drawing. I haven't done it as much now, but that sounds really good. Okay, what else do we got here? Oh, Miriko-chan. That I'm definitely gonna watch. In case you don't know what it is, I've seen things around on Facebook and stuff, but it's basically a comedy horror, which I'm already vibing with, so I'm gonna at least try it out when it comes out. And a lot of these don't have dates yet, so that's interesting. Sekai Sako, yeah, I'm not even gonna pronounce that. I'm gonna live for myself. The greatest assassin on Earth knew only how to live as a tool for his employers, until they stopped letting him live. Wait. We're born by the grace of a goddess into the world of swords and sorcery. He's offered a chance to do things differently, but he has to eliminate a super powerful hero. No, I think I read this. Wasn't this from the last video? This literally sounds like something I watched last time. Because this even this title sounds familiar. Did it get pushed? It might have got pushed. It sounds really familiar. Okay. Well, I'm just going to move on from that. So we got Takt OP Destiny. I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced OP or OP, whatever. In the story of the anime, one day a black meteorite fell onto the world, and the world completely changed. The meteorite produced grotesque monsters called D2, which started running rampant. They quickly banned all music, They banned all music, which was the one thing able to overcome them. Makes sense to me. Why would you keep something around if it can stop you? But there are some people who resisted. They are young women who hold the power of music, the music heart. These young women hold scores, that's cool, that are able to defeat the monsters. And there are also people who lead these women, the conductor. Okay, so they're trying to make music competitive. Interesting, that sounds really neat. Of course, a lot of these sound good in concept, they might not actually hold true, but it sounds interesting if anything. Oh, wait. I do remember this one. I think the picture might be different, but like I remember this long old title, opening a pharmacy. I think this one was supposed to be in the summer season, but they must have pushed it back. Probably because there's already one that's the same concept this season. Can't imagine why they would have both at the same time. World Trigger 3rd season, haven't seen it. Senpai ga Uzai Kohai no Hanashi. It's from Doga Kobo, that's already a plus. Futaba's new job will be greater for Senpai, wasn't so annoying. I don't know which one's which. I'm assuming he is the older one, but that might be a guess. Futaba hates his laugh. She hates how big he is. Okay, and she really hates that he treats her like a little kid. Just because Futaba is short and looks young doesn't make her a kid. And just because she spends so much time with Takada doesn't mean she sees him as annoying, but an annoying senpai, or does she? Okay, that sounds neat. And the fact that it's Doga Kobo and it's a place about working, that already sounds interesting. Because I really liked New Game, and that was a place involved working, so that sounds really neat. Isekai Shokudo. What is second season? I don't even know what the first season was. Maybe if I know the English name, I might know. I don't know. Saihaite no Paladin. Okay. In the city of dead, long since ruined and far from human civilization, lives a single human child. His name is Will. Kind of weird for a Japanese anime, but okay. And he's being raided by 3 undead. The hardy skeletal warrior Blood, the grateful mummified priestess Mary, and the crotchety spectral sorcerer Gus. Gus? The 3 pour love into the boy, and they teach him all he knows. But one day Will starts to wonder, who am I? He starts to unravel mysteries of this faraway dead man's land and unearth the secret past of the undead. He must learn the love and mercy of the good gods and the bigotry and the madness of the bad. And when he knows it all, the boy will know his first step on the path to becoming a paladin. Okay, that sounds interesting. I'm not going to include it on stuff to watch just yet, because just from how that sounds, I'm really hoping they take it in a route of he finds out the people that were raising him were doing wrong the whole time, but that might be just wishful thinking on my part. Okay, what do we got? Wait. A crossover television anime featuring chibi renditions of characters from Canon, Air, Clannad, and Little Busters, Rewrite, and additional key franchises to be revealed at a later date. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. I love Clannad. Probably one of my favorite anime, if not my absolute. I really like Canon. If we're talking about the 06 version, which I'm assuming they are, I really like that. Air, I started watching it, I didn't finish it. Might actually go back and watch it and actually enjoy it. Little Busters, I gave it a chance, didn't continue. And Rewrite, not sure about that one. And additional key franchises. Okay, so I don't know, well you probably can't see a mouse because I don't think I have a mouse up here. But if you see the poster, there's a character on the top left. And that really looks like the lead girl in Amagi Brilliant Park. But I don't think that's key, so might be just my imagination. That might be from Little Busters for all I know. Well, we got Taisho Otome Ogenerabashi. Shima is the youngest son of a wealthy Shima family. Blessed with great fortune since his childhood, he grew up wanting nothing but affection from his oftentimes distant family. Alright. After losing his mother and crippling his dominant arm what? He fell into deep despair and is cast aside by his father for his handicap. Condemned to live isolated in the countryside where he would bring nothing but shame, he resigns himself to until Yuzuki Tachibana appears on the doorstep proclaiming that she's his bride. As she takes care of him, he feels... Okay, so this is basically like he is in the pits of despair and then all these characters make him feel better. Just from that plot, that's surprising that they class it as slice of life. That sounds very serious. Of course, they could easily have it be comedy. Love Alternative. Umuvluv. I don't know what to call it. Takeru wakes up 3 years after the end of Muvluv Unlimited to find himself back in his room. I don't know what that is. Although he first thinks that everything that happened to him was a dream, he soon feels something's wrong and leaves the house to find that he has been sent back in the time of to the beginning of the events of Unlimited. Unwilling to accept something like Alternative V, he decides to help Professor Kozuki to save Alternative 4, to complete Alternative 4, and save mankind. What is Alternative V? What is Unlimited? What is going on here? Is this something continuing from something else? Because if it isn't, that just sounds confusing. Like, there's a lot of technical terms that I'm not going to understand until I watch it. Okay, I'm leaving it on the back burner. Alright, we got Osama Ranking. That's Ranking. The web manga features Boji, a deaf, powerless prince who can't even wield a children's sword. He strives, as the firstborn son, he strives hard and dreams to become the world's greatest king. However, people mutter about him that he's good for nothing and can't be prince or king. Boji is able to make his first ever friend, a shadow on the ground who somehow understands him. Kage is the survivor of the assassin clan that was all but wiped out. No longer a killer, okay. Interesting. And it's based off of a manga. Okay. Sakugan. Far in the future, the human beings were pushed into a deep underground called Labyrinth. And they're living shoulder to shoulder. The Labyrinth has several colonies with severe settings, such as one having an insanely high temperature, while another is full of gold and silver. Well, the one of gold and silver doesn't sound bad. Among these, in a colony of Pinyin, resides a curious 9-year-old girl named Mimipu, and her father Gangabar. As workers aiming for survival, they live with the lowest profession of riding a working robot to dig ore. One day, she pestered Gangabar, a cave examiner who makes maps. As a marker, he holds the most dangerous and attractive profession. One step outside the colony is already deemed. Okay, so it's one of those things where you're stuck inside and you can't go anywhere. Okay, interesting. Suki no Laika no Nosferatu. Nosferatu? I remember him from SpongeBob.
Nosferatu!
The first astronaut in human history was a vampire girl. Well, everything I know is just wrong now. Following the end of World War II, the world-dividing superpowers, Federal Republic of Zarinata in the east and United Kingdom of Arnak in the west, turned the territorial ambitions towards space. Both countries have been competing fiercely for development. Okay. East History 1960, Gergiev, the chief leader of the Republic, announces a manned space flight called Dream, which, if successful, will be a first feat for humankind. At the time, Lev Leaps, a substitute, is ordered to perform a top-secret mission, the Nosferatu Project, that experiments with vampires prior to manned missions. Will use Irina Luminesque as a test subject, and Lev is to monitor and train her. Even when trifled by the walls of the race and ego of the nations, Lev and Irina share a genuine sentiment as they aim for the universe. Okay. Interesting. Moving on. Wait. Isn't this Yuki Yuna is a hero? Yeah, because Yusha means hero. I didn't know they were still doing something with that. Honestly, I thought it was old at this point, but hey, I guess it could be. Angie Yuki, a boy who wrestles with deep-seated loneliness and can't fit in. This is called Visual Prison, by the way. I wanted to make sure I read that. With nobody to call family, he leaves his hometown. Longing to see an artist he admires perform, he heads for where he encounters a live battle between Eclipse and Lost Cross Eden. Lost Cross Eden. That's kind of catchy to say. Overwhelmed by the energetic performance, he is suddenly struck by an intense pain, and he turns into a vampire. Probably, because vampire is one of the tags. Okay, moving on. There's a lot of vampire stuff. Although, well, I'm not going to say anything yet, because if I say it, then it'll happen. Shikizakura, where cherry blossoms are in full bloom, while trees are colored with autumn leaves. In this special place, where the transient world meets the spirit world, a ritual to save humanity is about to begin. Kakeru Mira, by a certain train of events, winds up being an irregular member of a power suit team tasked with battling Oni. These Oni possess humans and try to cling to the transient world. Only the power suit Yoroi, which combines ancient secrets with the latest technology, can protect people from Oni. Kakeru decides to become a hero who will battle Oni and protect Oka Muijin. The Shrine Maiden fated with saving the world. Shikizakura season. Oka dances with the Shrine Maiden in autumn leaves and cherry blossoms. Heroic actions were past me. Okay. Interesting. Sublimation. I'm not sure about that one. I've never heard of that studio, but I'm going to at least add it. I mean, it's been a while since I've added anything. At least it feels like it. So I'm going to at least add something to make it seem like I care about this season. So let's move on. Lupin Part 6, or Lupin the Third Part 6. Haven't seen anything from Lupin. So let's move on. Kyuketsu Sugushinu. Vampires are... Why? This is literally the third vampire thing I've seen. Well, I guess it is gonna be October when this comes out, so I guess it makes sense. Vampires are said to have many weaknesses such as garlic, crosses, and sunlight. Game-loving vampire lord Draculok just so happens to be weak to everything. He dies turning into a pile of ash at the slightest shock. After vampire hunter Ronaldo, oh gosh, that name is cursed because of Steven Universe now, learned of a castle inhabited by a vampire rumored to have kidnapped a kid. He went there intending to take the devil down. However, the vampire turns out to be Draculok, a wimp who keeps turning into the ash of smallest things. Moreover, the kid wasn't being held captive. He was just using the haunted house as his personal playground. When the castle is destroyed, Draculok moves into Ronaldo's office, much to his chagrin. Despite their differences, they must try to work together to defend themselves from rogue vampires, Ronaldo's murderous editor, investigators, and more, with Draculok dying continuously along the way. Okay, I'm sold. I'm not like the biggest fan of vampire stuff, but the comedy in there is, I can already hear it. The comedy just sounds great. Yakunara Mug Cup Mo. I wanted to watch this. I watched like literally the first episode of the first season, but I never went back to it. I'm really wondering if this is going to be 15 episodes a pop as well, because first season was only 15 episodes, at least from the one I watched, but I haven't continued any more of it. So I'm going to watch the first season by the time this comes out, and we'll be right as rain, because I'm really digging that just from the first episode I saw. Okay, I hope we don't have much more to go, because I'm sure it's been a while that I've been recording. Sankaku Mado no Sotagawa Yooru. Shy bookstore clerk Kosuke has the ability to see ghosts and spirits, an ability he wishes he didn't have, since what he sees usually terrifies him. Rihito, an exorcist whose supernatural powers are as strong as his social graces are weak, doesn't seem to fear anything mortal or otherwise. When this odd couple gets together to solve bizarre cases that come their way, their work methods may not be entirely safe for work. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Purawi, Pride of Orange. Wait, this is the hockey thing! I remember this! JoJo Talks Too Much made a video about how an ice hockey anime is gonna be coming out, being like representative for Canada and jokes like that. This is it? C2C. I know that company. I'm adding this. I'm gonna have to check. Did C2C either made Laid Back Camp or Hitori Bochi? It's either one or the other. Either way, I'm down. Build, Divide, Code Black. I can see it. The way I can win. This time I will beat him, so come at me again. Except Bloom, Gambler of Souls. In New Kyoto, a city governed by the king, one's worth is determined by his or her strength in the Build, Divide trading card game. Rumors swirl about New Kyoto and its king. If you defeat the king in Build Divide, any wish will be fulfilled. In order to challenge the king, one must participate in the TCG known as Rebuild, and the key must be completed. Everyone has a wish. Kurabe, a boy who vows to take down a tank, and Banka, a mysterious girl who guides him, throw themselves into the Rebuild battle. With New Kyoto as the stage, the curtain rises. Okay. I wonder if that's actually a legitimate game in real life, or if it's just anime only. I don't know. Tokai Senki. In the year 2060, Japan has lost its sovereignty. The Japanese people spend their days as oppressed citizens after being divided and ruled by 4 major trade factions. The country became the forefront of the world with Amaim, a humanoid special mobile weapon, by each economic bloc. Amao Shiba, a boy who loves machines, meets Guy, an autonomous thinking AI. It's basically Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains. I mean, it really isn't, but like, yeah. Shinka no Mi, Shirani Uchi no Kagami Jinsei. I'm just gonna avoid that. I'm not sure if I can blow that up. The insults hurled at him. A voice claiming to be God announced over the transported to another world. We finally found an isekai, boys! The entire scroll was sent to a fantasy-like world with game-like elements. However, the gods still had preparations to complete for the transfer and would send them over as soon as the ritual was done. The classes all wait, but Seki alone was excluded, and as such was summoned to a different area. Fruit of Evolution. Okay. Is it supposed to be a kid's show, or I don't know. Megaton Q Musashi. In an ordinary world, there are people who live a peaceful and fulfilling life, but they don't know that it is a false peace. The untold truth, the Earth has already been destroyed. 99.9% of the human race has been wiped out by a mysterious alien force from outer space, called the Dractors. Eventually, a large hole was drilled into the Earth and terraformed into a suitable environment for the aliens to live. Humans have no choice but to hide in shelters to escape their eyes, waiting for the day of resurrection, which they do not know when it will come. Okay, I don't even need to read the rest of that. It sounds really interesting. Of course, I realize I'm adding a lot of stuff on here. There's no guarantee that I'll even watch any of this. But you know, it's here in case I want to watch it. Selection Project. It's a music anime. It's by Doga Kobo. Sure, I'll add it. It's Doga Kobo. I'm a sucker for anything Doga Kobo or KyoAni. So, I'm down. Deep Insanity, The Lost Child. Madness and an awakening thing. Randolph syndrome. This new illness is slowly steadily. Oh, illness. They really need to rework this. Caused by a huge underground world asylum that appeared in Antarctica. There are strange creatures different from the Earth and unknown resources. People bet their lives on the depths of this mysterious new world to get huge wealth, organizational plots, or their own ambitions. A young man with a wish in his heart is trying to challenge the front line. Okay. Not so sure about that one yet. I don't know. A lot of these are just left up to interpretation, so I'm not sure. Gyakuten Sekai no Denshi Shoujo. Japan, 2019, just before the dawn of a new era. Suddenly, a rift to another dimension appears in the sky, revealing the alternative Shinkoku Nippon, with the sky and the earth upside down. The parallel world keeps their former militarism, with its era being eternal Showa. Oh, that's right, because there's a Showa period. The military invades the world Japan with giant humanoid robots called Garan, and their gas weapons Genmu, rendering our modern weapons ineffective. Shinkoku Nippon instantly seizes the government and achieves a de facto conquest of Japan. The new era of Reiwa has not arrived for Japan. Okay, I'm gonna leave that up in the air because I'm not so sure about that one. Okay, so we're right at the end here. 180 Wait. Is this what I'm... Oh no, I just read part of that. Okay, let's read this out. 180 Byo no Kimi no Mimi wo Shirase de Dekaiu I. Okay, so, I repeat. ASMR, or Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, is the nerve-tingling or relaxing response and sensation one gets to certain stimuli, such as sounds or sight. As the title indicates, the anime will let viewers experience ASMR in 180 seconds. The story, the heroine challenges her classmates to share in her hobby of recording ASMR works. We're really at this point where we have ASMR anime. Wow. Okay, so another Primagi Chick Kip dancers. I don't know what that is. I can't talk about either one of them. There's nothing under O&A. Given, haven't seen Given, so let's move on. I did hear about this Jujutsu Kaisen movie. Okay, really down. SAO, yeah, haven't seen it. Oh, this is the movie I've seen stuff about online. This film tells of a new transfer student interested in his surroundings and a song that brings happiness to her and her classmates. Okay. Summer Ghost, nothing yet. Uchi Sekai Yamato. That must be something that's already established, I guess. I don't know. Hula Fula Dance. Hiwa, a novice, jumps into the world of Hula Girl after her sister. Alright. Episodes 10 through 12 of Fafnir Dead Aggression, the Beyond series. Tropical Rogue, haven't seen that. Uchu no Ho, no synopsis. Special, nothing. Okay, cool. But yeah, that is this video. The only one I knew going into this was Miriko, but I remember that Komi-san is coming out, and to be fair, there are a lot of surprises. And to be fair, a lot of the stuff I include, I might forget about watching or might watch and then find out I wasn't vibing with it as much as I thought or whatever. But it's just something interesting and at least gives me a reason to talk about new stuff when it comes out. But if you enjoyed, hit that like button. Hopefully this isn't too long of a video. If it is, then I can just cut it down. It's no problem. Let me know what you're looking forward to from this season. And I will see you next time. Momentai.